Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today for our look at how distribution companies are capitalizing on the power of the Acumatica cloud solution to address their challenges and to gain an advantage over their competitors. My name is Darren Reddies. I'm the Director of Pre-Sales and Solution Design at the Answer Company, and with me today is Danny Jang, who specializes in the Acumatica solution and who will be showing you the product. We'll start out by talking about some of the challenges we see distribution companies facing, and we'll then give you a brief look at the product so that you can get a feel for why more and more companies are choosing Acumatica. The agenda for today's webinar is as follows. As I said, we'll start with a quick discussion on some of the key industry challenges distribution companies face, and we'll share a few statistics that have been gathered on the industry. From there, we'll take a look at how Acumatica is helping companies with their unique approach. I'll share with you some of the types of key functions that Acumatica can help transform and give you some quick highlights of the solution offering before handing it over to Danny, who will guide you through the product itself. We'll also share a bit about our company, what a typical implementation looks like, and then, time permitting, we'll answer any questions you might have. So let's take a look at some of the key concerns that leaders of distribution companies have shared. In a recent study by Corber, 91% of respondents indicated that they are struggling to stay ahead of the curve. 48% said that they have seen their supply chain complexities increase. As we all know, this issue has continued to grow in size globally in the last 12 months. Disrupted supply chains are affecting every business and every individual in some way. 25% of companies continue to use manual processes for those core operations. While there's nothing wrong with manual processes, what they lack is scalability. So as companies grow, these reach a point where they become unmanageable. 48% of the respondents indicated that they are integrating technology throughout their operations. This fits with the trend to digital transformation that we see across industries that is separating industry leaders from the followers. 46% of companies are struggling to meet expectations for speed, cost, and adaptability. You will notice that this percentage is nearly identical to the number that reported increasing supply chain complexity. It's easy to see how digital transformation is propelling companies beyond their peers. The best performing companies, armed with digital tools and processes, are racing away from the rest with dramatically higher productivity and profits. This creates a digital divide where laggards struggle to sustain their business and remain relevant in today's digital economy. Simply put, digitally mature companies outperform their non-digital peers. They generate more revenue and profit and will outcompete non-digital companies. It's a bold statement, but it was a clear outcome of recent IDC research, which compared the profitability and revenue of digitally mature companies to their non-digital counterparts over the last 6 years. Disruptions caused by trade tensions and the global pandemic had a smaller impact on distributors that had just started or were well on their digital transformation journey compared to non-digital companies. To provide this kind of value, the technologies implemented need to create a foundation for future capabilities, allowing the organization to innovate and to create opportunities in the markets and ecosystems in which they operate. To do this, systems need to be cross-functional and capable of transforming the entire organization. For example, while an order processing system automates and optimizes business processes related to resources required to meet organizational objectives, it can also be a foundation for extending capabilities to an intelligent supply chain. ERP becomes one essential part of a system that connects the entire supply chain to drive overall performance. For this reason, performance optimization does not typically happen in a single project, but rather as part of a series of deployments that layer technological capabilities over time. Many problem statements faced by distribution companies are inherently complex and nonlinear and defy traditional statistical methods. So as additional data capabilities are added, business intelligence becomes crucial to process the volume of data. This means starting with use cases that facilitate end-to-end data integration and dashboarding, then building up additional forecasting, scenario analysis, predictive and optimization capabilities from the organizational level to across the supply chain. Build a roadmap that includes some quick wins, but that also plans for the coming years. This kind of planning is best guided by a careful examination of the returns available, not only for the entire system in general, but for the various functions, modules, and business processes that can be transformed. Determine where you can achieve sizable returns quickly so that these gains can be used to fund future phases of your digitization. It's important to recognize that true end-to-end visibility encompasses all areas of the business, and solutions can be viewed as a suite. While the end goal may be to achieve full digitization and connectivity, start by solving for the areas of the business that are most in need of attention. But keep in mind the need to build toward a secure system that is more than the sum of its parts, where your entire organization has a single source of truth. It's with these challenges in mind that the Acumatica solution continues to evolve. For over a decade, Acumatica has been working to bring enterprise-grade tools to the mid-market at an affordable price point. They've done this based on a platform that continues to lead in its ability to scale and adapt, allowing them to continue to build best-in-class functionality. Acumatica's adaptable cloud XRP platform is the base that this solution is built upon. We're focused today on the Distribution Edition, but it's important to note that this solution goes far beyond distribution operations. Companies that have operations across multiple areas can integrate their entire operation in a single solution, drawing upon the features that have been built for the multiple editions available. It's important to look at how Acumatica stacks up against the competition. What you can see here is that its modern UI and flexible workflows have resulted in it being consistently ranked highest in usability by Nucleus Research and G2. It's a market leader, and this is why we at the Answer Company are such a big fan of this product. G2 is a great place to look for what actual users have to say about a product, and you'll find that consistently Acumatica is held up as a leader in the industry. One of the things that sets Acumatica apart from its competitors is that licensing is not user-based. As a result, you're no longer faced with deciding who can use the system based on the cost of licenses. This gives you a tremendous amount of opportunity to scale and extend the system throughout your organization based on where there are opportunities for improvement. You pay for the computing power you use rather than based on the number of users. We're also a big fan of the ethical standards set out by Acumatica. They've developed a customer bill of rights designed to protect customers against some of the practices we've seen in the industry. Things like a cap on price increases, transparency on all fees, and a guaranteed access to your data are things that give us the confidence to bring this to our customers, knowing that they're going to be treated in a way that's in alignment with our culture at the Answer Company. To meet the needs of distribution companies, there are a large number of optional components available, but the backbone of the Distribution Edition is based on some key functions. As you'll see in Danny's demonstration, these functions work seamlessly together within the Acumatica solution. So at this time, I'd like to hand things over to Danny Jang. He's going to give you a quick look at Acumatica, focusing on the Distribution Edition.
All right, thank you, Darren. Here, everybody can see my screen, and what I'm showing right now is the Acumatica dashboard for my customer view. So as you can see, the Acumatica widgets are placed on this dashboard to show me things like orders to be shipped, any of the orders that are now late, and I can easily click down on these to be able to see the different things like order shipments and late orders from these different widgets on the screen. Now, if I wanted to configure these to my own preferences, and as long as I have permissions, there I can click on my design. I can now start adding new widgets here by clicking on add new widgets, and or I can do things like drag and drop and also configure the different parameters to show me alerts of the colors of my widgets. Okay, so now if I get back into my regular dashboard here, I can show that we do have other dashboards available for different roles, such as receiving clerks, shipping clerks, so on and so forth. So here is a warehouse manager dashboard that I'm showing. And again, different widgets presented to me different ways in terms of orders to be shipped, again, shipments that need to be picked, any shipments that are now late. Okay, so all your different users can configure their dashboards to their preferences, and there are many different dashboards that come out of the box for us. Now, what I wanted to do next is go in to create a sales order for my for my customer, and my customer has sent me a purchase order to purchase a computer from me. So I've already started one here, and let's continue on with the example of this specific order from my widget customer who has sent me their purchase order, and I can enter in their purchase order number here, as well as I can take a PDF of their purchase order, and I can drag and drop this and manage this and store it with the order with our document management system. So there you'll see that now I have a purchase order for my sales order from my customer, and now that will be associated, and anytime I need to look at it, any of my salespeople need to look at it, they can come in here and click on it to view it. Other functionality that we have for everything within Acumatica is the ability to be able to create notes on our documents. So there you see, if I click on the notes, I've attached a note that the customer wants this as a special order, and therefore I'm going to need to create a purchase order of my own to my vendor to bring this in for them. Okay, so just a couple of things to note on this sales order. On the order types here, if I click down on it, I can create things like quotes and then automatically create a sales order from my quote without having to rekey all the information related to this specific quote. Request on dates. So my customers want to put orders in ahead or give me specific dates and when deliveries need to be at their door. I can change this request on date to update when the sales order needs to be shipped. And this will be reflected also in things like our dashboards for our shippers and people in the warehouse to be able to make sure that these orders go out on time. Okay, so I've added the Acer laptop computer here. Customer's ordering one. And here, if I click on related items, I have the ability here to look at things like opportunities for upsells as well as cross-sells. Okay, so an example would be that normally or sometimes customers may want to get an external hard drive. There I can see there's an opportunity for me to cross-sell, or if I wanted to maybe sell them a different model of a computer to be able to give them more power or more functionality, there's an upsell capabilities, and I can relate to these to all my different products that we set up within Acumatica. Okay, so now the note at the top does tell me that the customer wants a special order of this computer with special features. And then here, what I've done is I've marked this for a purchase order so that I can automatically create a purchase order for this item from my sales order. So easy enough, I'm going to save my sales order first. And then here I can go into my menu here to then click on the create purchase order. And now I'm in the screen where I can pick the items, and I'm going to click on the process. And when I click on process, this will get me a purchase order that is going to be linked to that sales order. There are other replenishment features within Acumatica, so that if I wanted to set things like min maxes, reorder points, things like that, easily done within the inventory setup within Acumatica. So here now we have the purchase order for my sales order, and then there is the item that I want to be able to send to my vendor, my supplier, and tell them to ship that out to me. So I'm going to remove the hold on this, and we can now run this through an approval process. And once this is all approved, this can be sent by, say, SMS, emails, or even just widgets on desktops to alert, say, my purchasing managers to purchase these items for whether it is replenishment or to fulfill sales orders. Okay, so I'm the administrator today. I'm going to approve this sales purchase order, and then there you'll see we have things like workflow to be able to guide me through what's going to be next in the process of transacting this purchase order. So here I'm going to print the purchase order, and I'm going to send this out to my vendor. Okay, so this is what our out-of-the-box purchase order looks like. I'm going to click on the send, and then once I hit the send, you see this is the email that will be generated for me. I have the purchase order attached to it, and then there I just click on the send. I'm done. Automatically sends this out to my vendor for them to fulfill and either to ship it to me or drop ship it to my customer. So that's all done there. I can now check on things like, who this was assigned to for approval. I can look at who actually did the approval. That was me there, approved today, and everything looks okay. And now when the goods arrive, the warehouse will be able to get a receipt document, and they can use their mobile apps or their scanning capabilities. And here we'll take a look at what that would look like for us to be able to scan and receive that using our mobile app that is a core functionality of Acumatica. So all these different tiles shows me different things that can be done within Acumatica. And when I scroll down to the warehouse management there, I'll see the warehouse management functionality. I'm going to click on the receive and put away. And then there it's asking me to log on, and I'm able to use my fingerprint biometric authentication on my phone. So once that's logged on, I'm going to go back down into my warehouse management, my receive and put away. And then they're asking me for the receipt number. I'll be able to scan my receipt. Then it's asking me here now for the item. There's my item. And by default, it's going to receive everything. But here you can see that, on the set quantities, I am able to change the quantities based on what I actually received. Okay, simple as that. And then once that's done, I can then go up to the top and I can release my receipt. And now this was synced real time to my back office Acumatica so that everybody can see this in Acumatica. Okay. So what I've done so far is I entered a sales order. I've created a purchase order for my sales order. Purchase order is created. I've received the purchase order, and then now I can ship my orders based on that the items are in. And if I go back into my sales orders or using processes to generate shipping documents, there's my order, and there I'll be able to go through and create my shipment. there. And then the warehouse, people will see that there's the shipments to be picked. They will pick the shipments. Okay. And then here, you know what, we'll go through the shipments here. And we'll look at the other shipments available there. So within the screens here, we could either print picking lists directly from the screens here, where we can see the areas to be able to print the pick lists. And then once that's done, we'll be able to confirm the shipments. And then once the shipments are confirmed, we get to this area of prepare the invoice. And then this will then invoice the shipment, and we can send that out to the customer. Now, one last step here that I want to show everybody is once my vendor has sent me an invoice for the goods that I purchased from them, I can come into my payables here, into my incoming documents, and this will be able to give me the capabilities to be able to drag and drop invoices into this area here, do some AI recognition here to be able to automatically create my purchase invoices for me. And through this AI process, we're going to be able to match up things like the vendors with the vendor's name, be able to match up purchase orders with my receipts. So there you see my vendor is Sweet Life. And down here, you see that this is the items in my inventory. And then you'll see that the purchase order that it was requested on. And then here is the purchase receipt number that I received it on. Everything looks okay. I'm going to save and continue. And then this will create the AP invoice for me now, ready for my AP department to transact the check to pay for the invoice. Okay, so that is a quick, fast look at the process of how we get sales orders through our system, take a look at how our stock items and everything were created, and then through to a purchase order and receipt. If there's any questions, please put your questions into our chat box, and Darren will get to the questions in a few minutes. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Danny. That was great. And as you saw, the Acumatica Distribution Edition is a powerful and flexible solution, yet it remains easy to use, allowing you to manage and capture details about your distribution operations in real time. Instead of guessing where variances are coming from and trying to manage your operations based on gut instinct, you can rely on data, easily accessible for decision makers. We'd like to take a quick moment to talk about one of our distribution customers using Acumatica. SuperPrim Industries is a Canadian diamond tool supplier offering a complete product line of quality diamond tools, and they've successfully implemented Acumatica to make some dramatic improvements.
SuperPrim Industries started in 1999 as a distribution company for different home products. In 2000, we started Pearl Sinks. We had a lot of challenges because we had 4 different offices, and connectivity with those offices with the current system that we were using was very difficult. Being cloud-based, it allowed us to integrate all the data together into one system for all our staff to access that data seamlessly.
Before Acumatica, there were a lot of manual processes. We would have people going in and out of the warehouse to pass on sales orders, shipping labels, waybills, and we will sometimes get confused. With Acumatica, that doesn't happen. Everything that the warehouse people need is on the cloud, so we can just log in, and paper documentation doesn't get lost.
Working with the Answer Company was great. They flew in one of their consultants over the weekend. As with any implementation, there were some challenges, but with the Answer Company's support, as well as Acumatica, we were able to get it done in a timely manner.
The SuperPrim wanted a system that was going to be easy to use, and Acumatica is rated extremely well in customer surveys of ease of use, and we were very comfortable recommending Acumatica to SuperPrim to meet that need.
With other systems, we have to pay for each user, and the ability to have the unlimited user license financially makes it great.
One thing we really like about Acumatica is how easy it is to integrate with third-party programs. One that we're using right now is APS. They help us with our credit card processing. We're in the works with Easy Stock, which is going to help us with our inventory management. And Scanco is one that we're going to be using soon as well with the scan guns in our warehouse.
Acumatica support team is very knowledgeable and quick to respond. Even if we have problems that we can't normally fix, they can make customizations for the client and suit our needs.
We're hoping to expand Pearl quite aggressively in the coming years. We're looking to take the business online. We want to grow an affiliate program, and we're very confident that Acumatica can help us do that in terms of billing, in terms of CRM.
Acumatica has helped SuperPrem and Pearl move forward, and we continue to find new functionality to help us expand our business.
I hope you've gained a bit of insight into the Acumatica Distribution Edition. We'd also like to share a bit about ourselves. We've been implementing solutions since 1994, and we are the #1 Acumatica partner in Canada. We have 6 offices in North America with a team of over 120. We're very proud of some of the recent awards and recognitions we've received. We're committed to developing a high trust and positive workplace culture. This is great not only for our employees, but also for our customers. We have a very high retention rate, so you can be confident that the team that leads your implementation will be available for many years to come to support you. Our vision is people first. We are a company that delivers technology services, but we see this as a business of collaboration, where we can help you achieve your business and personal goals. Corporate social responsibility is something that we take seriously at the Answer Company. Once a quarter, we go out into the community as a team to donate our time to various charities. In addition, every team member is given another 4 days per year to personally volunteer time at the charity of their choice. I mentioned a couple of slides back that our vision is people first. Equally important is our purpose, which is propelling companies forward. And this is what we're all about. We work with you to determine what forward means for your company and how you can best achieve it. We are a full service provider. While we're talking about ERP implementation for distributors today, we offer a full breadth of solutions and services to support your company's technology needs. We'd like to give you a bit of an idea of what a typical implementation project looks like. Our process is something that's evolved over the years. It's designed to get a solution in place as quickly as possible while minimizing the risks associated. We use an agile approach that focuses on ensuring the system delivered provides the gains that were promised at the lowest possible cost. This is a highly collaborative process, so we always like to make sure that companies understand the typical time commitments required by their employees in a project. As you can see, the time commitments grow as the project progresses. Your team works closely with our experts during the analysis and configuration phases, and then really gets into the heavy lifting during the validation phase. This ensures that your team is completely comfortable with the solution at go live and that there are no surprises.
So at this time, we'd like to answer any questions that there might be. I know Danny's already answered a couple from Misha and Nick. Thank you for your questions. So those have been answered in the chat panel. If there's some additional questions, I'd be both Danny and I'd be happy to answer them. If you've got anything else, just give the group a moment here. Yes. Okay. So we've got another question here. Can you consolidate purchase orders into one big one for the same supplier? So if I understand this correctly, question's asking, we've placed multiple purchase orders and then we're going and perhaps came on a single shipment, but importantly, we got one invoice from the supplier. Danny, do you want to handle that one?
Yeah, currently I believe it's one PO to one invoice, but I'm sure that with future enhancements that will also be addressed with future releases.
Thanks, Danny. I have another question here. How much are user licenses for mobile users? So sorry if we were unclear about this. This is actually one of the great advantages of Acumatica. It's true for both the mobile as well as any of the other licenses, that you don't pay by user licenses regardless of what platform you're on. So this speaks a little bit to one of the previous questions too about can this be performed across different platforms. So first of all, Acumatica can run on basically any device with a web browser, and that mobile app that you saw Danny running, he was running it on his smartphone. You can run it on a smartphone. You can also run it on some sort of a specialized scanning device. But in either case, your usage, your payments are based on the amount of computing power that you're using. So Acumatica looks at this by looking at the number of transactions that you've got, either typically looking at your purchase orders, your sales orders, or the invoices that you process, and then determines based off of that what your costs are, regardless of the number of users that are accessing the system. Just received another question here. How long does it take information from the handheld to be synchronized back to Acumatica? Great question. Because obviously one of the big things that we're talking about, one of the things that companies are looking to solve for in order to meet these challenges is to have real-time information. And so I'm happy to say that when you're working in that, again, in that mobile app that Danny was using, scanning for receipts and as things are shipping out, it's not something that's disconnected and then is resynchronizing at a later time. This is actually all connected real time to the Acumatica solution. So as soon as you enter that, it is live in the system. It's available for reporting. You can make use of that immediately. So I think that's...
Hey, hi, Darren. Sorry. Another question came in direct. Can you consolidate purchase orders into one big one for the same supplier?
Yeah, that was the first question that we answered in the live Q&A.
Oh, sorry about that.
So Laurie, I guess just to clarify as well, we can bring in multiple purchase orders into, say, one invoice, just not through the document recognition. Okay, so to avoid any confusion, I can always bring as many as I want into a one invoice document, but through the incoming document recognition, right now that one is one-to-one.
Okay. Well, I'm not seeing a lot more questions, and I think we're getting toward the end of our time. So we'll wrap things up here. We'll share this presentation and a recorded video with you, along with a gift certificate as our thanks for taking time out of your day today to join us for this webinar. So please, if you have additional questions, if there's anything more that you'd like to explore in Acumatica, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to explore this with you in a one-on-one presentation and discussion. Once again, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day. Hopefully this information was helpful to you, and we look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks so much, everyone.